I'm here with Kenyah. Kenyah, disappointing loss today. I mean, let's be honest, it's a pre-season friendly, but you never want to lose any game, especially to Tottenham. And this game had some significance. It was the first North London derby outside of North London. But anyway, you take it away. Your thoughts on the game?
As I've said when I said against AC Milan, it's quite reminiscent of what we always see. A game where we pretty much probably have the majority of the possession, we have all the shots, but we walk away feeling a bit disappointed. I think we started off okay. We started off with a bit of intensity, but I just think, to me, that game was like evidence of we need a left winger. I don't know how many more times I'm going to say it. Please go and get a left winger. We have no left wing presence. I just think, I look at that left side of the pitch. Why is the people who have the most presence a midfielder, a DM who's been moved into a more attacking role, and Declan Rice and Miles Lewis-Skelly? That should be, it's so glaringly obvious. I look over and I'm just like, where's Martinelli? I don't even know where he is half the time. And I just think, again, I know Trossard kind of came off injured, so we can't really judge his performance, but I looked at Reece Nelson. I'm like, how has Reece Nelson looked better in about 15 minutes than Martinelli and Trossard have looked in the last 3 games that we've played in Asia in general? So if I'm being honest, there's what I would say, there's good fitness from some players. Obviously, Saka went off, Trossard went off as well, so there's a few issues there, but oh my God, just please get that left winger. Go and get it sorted.
Yeah, I've got to say, there is a palpable imbalance in the attack. Like you said, Saka on the right-hand side, everything seems to go through him. And then when we do go down the left, it's not nearly as effective. I've got to say, though, the goal, let's talk about the goal, because obviously that's what separated the two sides. Yeah. Now, for me, I'm going to put my cards on the table. I'm a David Raya admirer. But I've got to say, straight up, this was not a great game for him today. Even before the goal, he'd flapped at a few crosses. There's one he flapped at that nearly went indirect. Yeah. And then with the goal now, listen, to me, that pass to Miles Lewis-Skelly puts him in a lot of trouble. He's immediately surrounded by Spurs players. He gets dispossessed. But then David Raya is about 30 yards off his line. So...
Any different from what we know, though?
Yeah, but I just thought that passage of play, to me, I didn't think David Raya was at his best moment. What do you think?
No, I actually have to agree with everything you said. I saw it. I was upstairs in DR watching it, and I was sat with Richard, and I literally said to Richard, why would he even bother with that pass? I said it, and as soon as I said that, Richarlison nicks the ball off Lewis-Skelly. I just think, okay, you're very far forward, fair enough. You already know the dangers of doing that, but he's trusted enough to know that, if you do that, make sure it's a good pass. He passed it into Miles when there was 5 players around him. I just think, first of all, you're playing with fire there, and I just think, as well, Miles is fantastic, but he's also an 18-year-old kid. You've got Odegaard and Rice who are already far up the pitch. You can't really support him. And as well, you've left yourself as a goalkeeper exposed, because now, as you said, he's about 30 yards off his line. You've now been lobbed.
Pepe Sarr's thank you.
And as I was saying to you guys earlier, if you watch Pep Sarr, the best thing he's known for is long-range goals. He's really good at long-range, distant shots. So as soon as I saw him lob it, I was like, it's going straight in, and it was actually a great attempt, it was a great goal. I just think, look, it's pre-season. I'm not going to get too carried away with the result, but I think what concerns me is more just the tactical layout of the game. As you said, I saw things, and I'm like, the corners thing, for example, let's bring that up, because I think last season, especially towards the end of it, where we had no Gabriel, we saw that we were conceding a lot more corners, a lot more, free kicks and things like that. And I just kept looking at that back post, like that back post is always exposed. There's nobody there. And as you said, it hit the post twice. Raya was getting surrounded. That's something that has to get fixed. And I do think as well, do
you think they targeted him? Because Thomas Frank is quite an astute, erudite manager. There's certain things he probably looked at and thought, we can get something from this.
Yeah, of course. I mean, as well, as I said, there's no Gabriel, so you're already missing a massive presence in that backline, no Timber as well. But I still think those defenders were still good enough. I thought Kirill was all right. But yeah, I mean, why you do have to target goalkeeper. We're known for targeting goalkeeper. I mean, when we played Spurs in the last 3 seasons, we always target Vicario, because we know that actually if you target him and you get onto him, he's gonna, similar to how David Raya did today, flap around and you can score, and that's a scoring opportunity. So
Let's go a bit further up the pitch.
Yeah.
Now, I was one of many that said that this pre-season tour was quite a big one for some players.
Yeah.
One of those players is Kai Havertz, because let's be honest, Gyökeres coming in, his position is under serious threat. So we was hoping to see something from Kai Havertz over these 3 games to, you know what I mean, to show that he has a future at Arsenal.
Yeah.
I know it's only pre-season, so, you know, I mean, you know, we have to take that into account. But how do you think he's fared over the 3 games? Because he has played in all 3 games.
I would say against AC Milan was kind of just a ghost of the game. Against Newcastle, thought he played well, got 2 assists, and I was like, okay, you're looking up. But then in this game as well, just thought he was kind of coasting in the game. Similar to Martinelli, really, just coasted in the game. There was one chance where I think he should have really put his foot through it, just fumbled it. Like, I think that it kind of, I love Kai. I'm not a, you know, I'm not a Kai hater or whatever, because I know he's got a couple of those. But I do think, you know, in the season, I need to see Victor Gyökeres starting. Like,
do you think Havertz, be honest with me, do you think he's got a future at Arsenal now that Gyökeres is here?
He does have a, I don't know, what do you mean by future as a future start? If you're saying future starter, then no. But
I guess what I'm saying is, because, yeah, it's unlikely he's going to start most games.
Start.
Once Gyökeres is up to speed, I expect Gyökeres to start. However, do you think he has a future in that he's going to play an integral part at Arsenal going forward?
Do you know what? Usually I'd probably say no, but knowing our manager, yeah, he probably will. I think as well, like with Kai, he's a jack of all trades, master of none. So he can do a job in loads of different positions. So I would say that Arteta might look at him and be like, he's still important to me, he's still pivotal. But I do also think, does he start over Gyökeres? In my opinion, no. Should he start over Marino? No, probably not. Or Zubimendi or anybody else in midfield. And then you've got the likes of Ethan, Max Dowman, who he was the bright spark in the game, especially at the end. Like, it's, you know, it's starting to get like, he's got to prove himself. Do you know what I mean? He's got to fight for his place. And I think there's nothing really wrong with that. If you want to play in a good team, which we are, and you want to play for a big club, you have to fight for your place. But it's right now, if you ask me if I want him to start, the answer's no.
No, I don't think he'll be starting. Yeah. I think the problem I have with Kai Havertz is, listen, he is a presence. He does try his best. Yeah. He's a good team player. He does hold the ball up well. Yeah. And, you know, he does have his moments. However, the problem I have with him is that most of the time he's not a sufficient enough goal threat for me.
Yeah, but I would say he's a player that's quite underestimated, and I feel like in games where he does score, it's because he's been underestimated by defenders and he pops up with a big goal. But if you're asking me who my biggest issue was, it's not even with Kai Havertz, it was with Martinelli. And I'm a Martinelli lover, but I look at that left wing in all 3 games, he's been absent, and it's just kind of like, we need to sort this out ASAP. That's how I see it.
Okay, I've got to wrap it up. Overall then, 3 games. How would you say the pre-season tour of the Far East has gone? Just very quickly, because we're running out of time.
Good. I mean, we won 2, we lost once. That's a good return. We saw new players. We saw Mascara today. We saw a tiny bit of Gyökeres, although not enough. We saw young players that looked really good. So it's been successful. Let's just hope we can kick on from here.